All right, going live on my phone as well, just to make sure that the technology is working. Sometimes the technology doesn't work, and I'll just give you a plain example. Last week, I was live for about 30 minutes, guys, and I realized I actually wasn't live. I wasn't streaming, so I was talking to the dark for 30 minutes or so, and that wasn't very cool. It wasn't a good experience. So as I'm starting to work with my live streaming stack, as live streaming becomes more and more important in my business, I'm just looking for different ways to make sure that I'm not only delivering valuable content to you guys, which I hope this is valuable if you're watching this live or if you're watching the replay, but also that the technology comes to you, or the message is able to come to you in a context, in a way that you're actually able to find some value in it. So if I'm recording stuff and you're not getting any sound or video, well, you're not getting any value out of it, right? It doesn't make any sense for me to be doing that. I hope you're doing well on this beautiful Friday afternoon, or Friday morning, excuse me. It is 10:15. I'm hanging out in sunny Southern California. Guys, can you believe we're already into November? We're already a week into November, which is crazy. I can't believe how fast 2019 has flown by. If you are following my page or following this page, hopefully, you've been following the journey, right? I work as a consultant. I work with startups and mid-sized organizations on everything from brand development to sales development, new product development. I'm kind of a jack of all trades as it comes to working with startups and helping them grow their businesses. I started this company, Startup Sharks, which is just the name of, as I end this call, which is the name of my consultancy. As a direct result of being a startup founder, if you're following this page, you probably also know that in addition to running Startup Sharks, I'm also the founder of Food Tribe, which is a brand committed to connecting good food to good people. And running a startup is hard. It's super difficult. It's challenging. And one of the reasons, again, why I started, both this page and the consultancy was as a direct result of wanting to help make the experience easier and better for other people. So I create content like blogs and videos and photos and graphics, and I try to share fun links and really try to help creative people, creative entrepreneurs understand the business space, understand what makes them special, their passions, their creative pursuits, and ideally figure out a way to get that passion out to other people, right? I love the community of entrepreneurs. I love the problem solvers. I love supporting the people who are passionate about something, and I love helping them create a business around those things that they are passionate in. And a lot of my passion for Food Tribe is fueled by the startup community. You guys continue to amaze me, continue to impress me. I love working with smart people, professionals, and applying lessons that I learned from you guys to improve my business and business side. And so, thank you so much. If you're watching this video live or if you're checking in later, the fact that you would give me a part of your day is not lost on me. And so that's why I take this job of creating content for you seriously. So if you're liking what you're hearing, and you want to be you want to continue to develop a relationship with me, I've already dropped a link in here. Let's have like 15-minute chat. I want to get to know you. I want to hear a little bit more about what you're passionate about, what you care about, and the type of business that you would like to build. That being said, Guys, today I have I'm dropping out a new blog post titled Four Brand Lessons from the NBA's Tough Week in China, which is the title of this video. I'm working on my content structure, right? So one of the things that I'm looking to do is provide you guys a video summary of what the blog post is actually getting blown up right now. Give you a video post of what the blog is actually about, and then I'll release the blog a little bit later, and then you can kind of watch and read them both together, or watch the video first, or read the blog post first, or how. Oh, I got a frog in my throat. Excuse me. Or however it is that you want to do it. Video is super important now. My content strategy this year, and if you have a side hustle or business, video needs to be a big part of your content strategy as well. But also, I just think that having video to accompany blogs is just the next generation, right? So I want to be able to start bringing any blog posts or text-based content that I put out there to life for you guys, so it's a little bit easier for you to interact and learn the message, right? All right. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about 4 brand lessons from the NBA's tough week in China. If you guys don't know what happened last month, right before NBA kickoff, if you are not a Lakers fan, I mean, I don't know if you're going to, well, no, listen, we can talk trash later, but if you are a basketball fan, you are by default, in my opinion, a Lakers fan. The Los Angeles Lakers are the greatest basketball team of all time. Let's just all go ahead and agree to that. That being said, the entire NBA, the organization, the National Basketball Association, had a very difficult week in China last month. Why, may you ask? Okay, again, so the NBA was looking right before kickoff, or right before the launch of the regular NBA season. They did a series of international events over the summer in order to drum up excitement, because we all know that the USA, we all love basketball. It's a great sport, but basketball is an international sport, right? We've got players from all over the world. We've got players from Europe, and from the continent of Africa, and the continent of Asia. There's so many different people, culture, faces who have put their unique spin and culture on the game of basketball, right? And what other better place, for a growing base of rabid basketball fans, would it be a good idea in order to generate some international brand awareness about the league's upcoming season? Well, China, duh. They've got billions of people, and they love the game of basketball. Basketball is a growing phenomenon in the country of China. Well, what happened? The NBA had to learn the hard way that having a brand strategy is very important to your business and to their efforts, right? Kicking off their season is super important because it's going to help allow them to hit certain revenue and marketing goals for their business, right? Which allows them to stay in business and continue to operate. Well, to give you a little bit more background, earlier in the summer, something that has been going on for quite some time in I believe it's a municipality, but in the city of Hong Kong, or it might be a municipality or a principality of China. However, let's just go ahead and take a step back. In the city of Hong Kong, there is a ton of political unrest that has been going on for quite some time. There have been clashes with citizens, protesters, versus the government of China. And as a result of that, China has been facing some backlash in the international community, and there has been a conflict of interest in some ways, right? China remains that they are operating in the best interests of their citizens, while others would argue that they are suppressing free speech as well as suppressing human rights. And so, there is a conflict of interest, and that was very much exposed during this summer's NBA kickoff. GM Daryl Morey of the Houston Rockets, one of the most popular franchises in the NBA, especially in China, considering Yao Ming, China's most famous and special ambassador to the sport of basketball, had played his entire career in the city of Houston with the Rockets. Well, GM Daryl Morey of the Houston Rockets tweeted out a tweet in support of the protesters in Hong Kong. China did not like that. They didn't like that at all. And so leading up to the event, people weren't even sure if the event was going to happen. Social media, immediately hopped into the conversation, right? The NBA, a US-based country, had brand values that were in line with a US-based audience, right? Values like freedom of speech and the right to protest. And, you can see that in the way that the NBA treats its players. You've got players like Lebron James, who has his I Am More Than an Athlete campaign, which is about an athlete's right to protest and speak their mind and to offer an opinion on, political events. Well, that was the base of operations that the NBA was operating under. However, when you are a brand that is seeking to widen your appeal, you're looking to hang out with an international audience, well, you have to understand your brand values might not be aligned with the brand values of others, right? That is something that you are going to have to revisit. And the backlash was immediate, right? Millions of dollars were lost. Events were canceled. We weren't sure if anything was actually even going to happen, right? And so the NBA learned the hard way that there's some brand things that we've got to do. And, me being someone that loves startups and someone that loves basketball, I see this as an example, right? If you are the founder of a startup or a side hustle, I want to know what you're passionate about, because if you can use those things that you're passionate about, well, you can then apply lessons, experiences, get information, get more data on how to apply those things that you're excited about to your business and helping it grow. And I'm someone that loves branding, right? And I also love basketball. So I'm like, how can I, and I want this for you, how can I learn how to combine my love of branding and basketball and learn a lesson from it? And so the number one thing that I would recommend for the NBA as a result of this experience is speak your truth. I've been having this theoretical conversation with a friend of mine for, the better part of 5 months now about the power versus meaning of words. And I don't want to get too high level, but, what I want you to understand is that not everybody is going to interpret your words the exact same. So it's very important that you know what your truth is, what your intention is, and be consistent to that. So the NBA had to learn the hard way last month that knowing what their truth is as an organization is the most paramount thing that they can do, right? Because when you know your truth, when you know your intention, you don't have to make up an answer, right? You know the answer, it's within you, and your response is automated, it's consistent, it is who you are. Now I don't want you to think that you don't have to allow new experiences and new opportunities to develop your truth. But the thing is that as a business, as an organization, as a side hustler, as an entrepreneur, the number one thing that you can do from a brand perspective is know what your truth is, right? Because then from there, you can start to explain to people the reality that you see. And from there, that's when you can start breaking down walls, building bridges, and developing relationships. Brand lesson number 2 for the NBA, got to create a social media policy for your employees, right? And this is something that is, exactly how you want to do it is it remains to be seen. Do executives have a vote? Do players have a vote? Do the people passing out popcorn have a vote, right? But as an organization, having a social media policy is very important for your employees. It's something, put something down on paper that is a living document that grows as you grow. Obviously you don't want to stifle your employees because you want, depending on what your company is, but ideally you're allowing for freedom of expression, because if you're investing in your people and allowing them to freely express and create from within themselves, they're probably going to, do the exact same thing for your business. And, you want to allow the people on the front line to allow your business to grow. But it is important to provide direction and structure, right? So it's important that you have a social media policy for employees. Lesson number 3. And you can't really, this is hard to quantify, but timing is everything, right? Now, it just so happened that this summer there happened to be protests, and it just so happened to coincide with the fact that the NBA was less than a week away from going into the country of China, right? And it just so happened that Daryl, I don't know if he was watching CNN at 4 o'clock in the morning or what was going on, but he sent out a tweet at exactly the wrong time, right? And so, you know, your job as someone who is interested in protecting your brand is figuring out timing when delivering your message. And a lot of that has to do with listening, right? Listening traditionally is a direct correlation to timing. So my recommendation is to use all the resources at your disposal to listen, right? We got 2 ears for a reason. Number 4, and you know, this is the last brand lesson that I have for the NBA. And obviously, we are all imperfect beings, right? We are all dynamic and learning, and we are never the person that we thought that we were, and we might not ever be the person that we think that we're going to be, but we are who we are right now, right? So what you can do is ask questions, implement change, get feedback, and then repeat the process, right? So, you know, this is an opportunity for the NBA as an organization to learn. Especially LeBron James, right? This is an opportunity for all of us to learn. This is an opportunity for us to ask questions from our different stakeholders. From that, and in this case, that is from the players. That is from the Chinese government. That is the Chinese audience. That is the American audience. There are a lot of people to ask questions, right? Or ask questions to. Get that feedback, implement change within your business, and then ask those same questions again and get what the new sentiment is, right? That is your responsibility as someone that cares about your brand. Guys, if this sounds like something that's interesting to you, or that, you know, this is offered some lessons for you, I'm going to be releasing a blog post after a couple edits. I would say within the next 24 to 48 hours. So check back. I will drop a link in this video so you'll have easy access to it. You know, I put out a ton of content like this, and the plan is to ramp it up next year. I also am planning on launching my Mako Startup School. Mako Startup School is it's an experiment I'm doing over the next 3 months in order to help some business professionals, some side hustlers grow their business. I want to work very, very, very closely with you. More on that to come. If that sounds like a community that you want to be a part of, I have a Facebook group for entrepreneurs called the Mako Side Hustle Community. We're a small group of people that I highly vet before I let into the crew. I want to make sure that you're fit. I want to make sure that you're serious. We're bringing in 2 new people this month. We're at 38 right now. I can handle, you know, managing a crew of 40 for right now. If that sounds like, you know, something that you'd be interested in, feel free to click on the link in the comments section, request access. And then you have to do the second step, scheduling a 15-minute meeting with me, and I will meet with you. I want to learn about what you're doing and if we can be a help and a resource for you. That's all that I got, guys. Be on the lookout for the post that is dropping soon, and I want you to have a great rest of your Friday. Peace and love.